Do you relate well to being spiritual and not religious? Are you looking to transform your life to have greater purpose and experience more joy and abundance? If you are, you've come to the right place. Welcome. I'm Neil Pinkman, the spiritual director for the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming, diverse community has helped countless people in the same way. Enjoy watching. If you like what you see, check us out at cslnj.org.
How glorious. We are opening, and we are open to the love, the light, the power, the truth of the One, and to the beauty of this day. We are open to this community, this faith, and the power of being alive. I celebrate today. I celebrate the joy, the glory of today in everything small and everything big, in the richness of our friends, the richness of this community, the richness of the love today that holds us together, the comfort, the hope, the peace of today. This moment brings with us such joy, such promise, such wholeness and abundance as Spirit fills each one of us with its power and beauty. I bless the past. I bless everything that has brought me to this glorious moment. I honor my past, and I honor everything within me, especially the spirit within me that helps me to thrive, that keeps me knowing the truth of who I am, who we are. And I know the truth of the power of today for my friends, my family, this community, this love, this teaching, our country and our world. I know this love of today permeates all. I know the wisdom of today permeates all. I rejoice in today. I rejoice in the blessings of today. I give thanks for this truth, this community, this faith, this teaching, the truth of who we are. I release my word to the law, knowing it is done. It is already done. It is always done in love. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Nettie, for that beautiful treatment. So now I will read our November affirmation. Thank you, Neil, for posting in the chat. I will read it. You can read along on mute. November affirmation. My thoughts and beliefs shape my reality. The abundance of life flows in and around me. By maintaining a positive mindset and cultivating thoughts of abundance, I attract and manifest abundance in every way, known and unknown. By cultivating gratitude and mindfulness, I savor the richness of my experiences, connecting with the inherent sweetness that exists in every aspect of life, and so it is. Wonderful. And now we will have a practitioner reading from Nettie.
Thank you. The readings are from our textbook meditations. Born of eternal day, child of all good, you are born of eternal day. There is no evening of the soul, for it shall live forever. It is deathless and perfect, complete and one with the everlasting. No thought of tomorrow can disturb the calm of him who knows that life is one eternal day. No fear can enter where love reigns, and reason keeps faith with hope. The thoughts of the tomorrows and the yesterdays are swallowed up in the great realization of the perfect here and the complete now. Today, I completely accept my wholeness. I arise and go forth. I arise and go forth into the dawn of the new day, filled with faith and assurance in the all good. I arise, I sing with joy. I proclaim the one life, in all and through all. I arise, I shout with gladness that is within me. I declare this day to be complete, perfect, and eternal. I respond to life.
Beautiful. Thank you again. All right, so now I would love to introduce our beloved spiritual director, Reverend Neil Pinkman. He's going to offer our Sunday talk.
Good morning. When originally looking forward on what this talk was going to be, I didn't anticipate we'd be coming out of what we just came out of in terms of the election and everything that's been going on for the election. And it's kind of new territory. It's a little bit uncharted. I don't know that we've been through anything like this before. And, some of you are my age or older or close, and we've been through a lot of elections. We've been through a lot of things that have gone on. We've seen a lot of changes. We've seen a lot of difference of opinions in terms of wars we've been involved with, and unrest at home and demonstrations and all of that. But this seems to have a little bit of a different tone to it. There are many of us, who are still in an overwhelming sense of grief and anxiety or anger and even disbelief over what has transpired. And I think even if you were happy with the way the results came out, you're probably existing in a bit of the unknown of what does lie ahead. It's really been an unprecedented polarization in this country for a while now, but this past week it has seemed to have culminated, and we had the opportunity. One of the we talked about it last week, where the quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, and he had said that the new Buddha was going to be community, and we know that's true about this community. We know that this is such a wonderful sacred place for us and such a safe place for us. And we had a great opportunity on Psalm Sunday this morning to have a very open discussion about how everybody was feeling on this. And I know that it was kind of agreed on, and I'm sure everybody else would agree on the fact that having this teaching, having these principles, and having this community are the strong parts of us, the things that help us feel safe, basically, with what's going on. And the title of this talk was "Letting Go of the Past," and I understand that there's some past, very recent past, we need to let go of. But I think it's really important that we all know that we need to feel what we're feeling. I think we need to allow that to process through us, whether it's the grief, the anger, the frustration, the disbelief, that we need to use our spiritual practices to sit with it and allow it to process through. And that'll happen faster for some and not as quickly for others. There's been things that have been written from CSL, from our spiritual leader, Sonny Cantrell. There are things out on the being shared from different communities, David Alexander, and then they're all great, and they're all great to read and to get inspired by. But we shouldn't be doing any spiritual bypass. We do need to allow ourselves to feel what we're going through before we say it's all good and everything's going to be okay. Because we really need to know where all of that feeling is, and allow it to come up. And we will come out of this because we have the foundation, we have the principles. Excuse me. I know the Leadership Council was sharing different thoughts on today, and I'll read something to you quick that Andy had sent to us, which I think is a good point, and that is we have to do our job. The safe space we have created needs to be expanded. Our principles turned into practices and then strengthened. Knowing that if we can block out all the noise and approach each moment from a place of power rather than fear and anxiety, we are much more effective at creating peace, love, and change within us, our family, our community, our country, and our world. And I'm not sure if this is your quote, Andy, or not, but it's not. He's on here. This is not the time to throw our hands up. It's a time to roll up our sleeves. And all of that is true. And I want everybody to know how much is available in this community, that whether it's anybody on the Leadership Council you need to talk to or the practitioners, all of the practitioners are available. I'm available. Resources if you need support. It is everybody's information is there on our website, cslnj.org. And there are multiple practitioners that are available and happy to talk to you and to help you if you're struggling with any of this, as I know many of us are. I know I'm not through with where I am. I don't know how you handled it personally. I was saying this morning, I had to shut off. I had to turn off the TV, turn off the radio of any type, whether, sports channels I would listen to. I just couldn't handle the noise, and I needed to stay with my prayer partners. And hopefully you have prayer partners that you turn to and talk to, and that is just such an incredible source of support. And I think that I'm still there. I haven't come back to the place where I want to engage like I used to. So it's easy to want to bypass all of these hard feelings, but we can't. We've got to let them process and then find out where we are afterwards, and then know that we do have everything we have in this teaching. So before I move on to just which will be relevant as well, the letting go part, are there any questions? Does anybody have anything that needs to be said? Okay. All right. Thank everybody for being here. This is one of those great things that after a week like this, that we do have the ability to come together. And one of the things that really comes to the front of my mind, and we've talked about this before. I've asked you this question before, that how many of you believe that something that happened in your past is affecting the way that you are today and the way that you're living today? And I've gotten hands raised on that before, that, yeah, that the past is affecting it. And the follow-up question is, well, if the past doesn't exist like we talk about all the time, then how is it affecting us? And because I mean, if you look up the word past or whatever, it just says that it doesn't exist, that something that is no longer there, it's gone past in time. But it does exist in your mind, that we carry it with us. And the important part in letting go of the past is the phrase I use all the time, which is, I use my memories, but I don't let my memories use me. And it is important to do that. And especially right now, it's important to do that. And there's a lot of things that we don't even realize keep us connected to the past. One of those things is comparison. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. I mean, social media is nothing more than who's doing better than me, or am I doing better than them? We use that as a gauge, and you can't compare yourself to something that hasn't happened yet. Even comparing yourself to where you were a number of years ago can be tricky. But comparison is the thief of joy. And it absolutely takes you out of the present moment. And that is, there are other things that keep us anchored in the past. But the important part is, you need to know how to make the memories work for you, for the past work for you. And that's why it's so important, after what we've been going through this past week, not to stuff it away, not to pretend that we're not feeling it, that we can't repress it, right? We can't do a spiritual bypass on it. We can't just say, no, it's all good. If any of you were in the Busting Moose from the Money Game class that we did, one of the steps in getting through in that process was to feel it as intensely as you possibly can before you move on. And that is important, especially this week, but in every other week. And what ends up happening, and it came to me this morning as well, we were talking, the quote from Carl Jung that says, until the unconscious becomes conscious, you're going to suffer, and you're going to end up calling it fate. And you're going to call it fate because you don't know that it's there. Right? You just think that, oh, this is my life that's just being directed the way that's how it's supposed to be, but you don't understand that what you have put in and haven't dealt with and is at that unconscious level, that's creating the life that you have and some of the struggles that you have. So the result of all that is exactly what Reverend Michelle does. Now you have shadow work to dig up those things that are from your past, that are running your life, that you're not even aware of. It's controlling you, to bring them to the surface so you can deal with them, so you can feel them, you can process it, you can deal with the forgiveness on it, and you can then clear that out and move on from those. But you can also do it as you're going through it. This is it's a choice we have. There are things we don't want to feel, but we need to feel them. It's all part of this as Joseph Campbell said, it's all part of the rapture of life, the full package of all of it. But the way to move through it freely, in this unattached way, okay, if we're hung up on things that happened in the past, if we don't clear it out, then we are attached, and then we will suffer. And there's literally a choice there of, do I deal with it, okay, or do I um, you know, do I use it and become wiser from it and stronger from it in terms of how I live my life, or do I go on and not use it and basically be a victim and be wounded from it, right? You know, it's one of those Hallmark card cliches about living in the present moment. But one of the things that I love is a quote from um, Eckhart Tolle. And that quote from The Power of Now is, if it's the quality of our consciousness that determines the future, and it is, what is it that determines the quality of our consciousness? And the answer to that is the ability to be present, to be right here, right now, living in the present. And you know, there is no such thing as bad karma or good karma. There's no such thing as bad luck or good luck. But our ability to be conscious and be present and not be living in the past, of letting go of the past, is that we're able to make conscious choices in this moment. And if you're not in the present and you're not making conscious choices in this moment, the next moment can't turn out in your favor or how you wanted to turn out in any way. But when you are present and you are conscious and you've gone through expressing all of these feelings, everything, and there's a lot of them right now for sure, but as you go through and you allow that to happen, you stay very present to it, then you're making conscious choices that drives you in the direction that you want to live your life and how you want to be happy and how you want to be free and not feel constrained. You know, it's really funny when you know, living in the present moment, there's you open yourself to the actual experience of living. Otherwise, it's colored, it's tainted, it's got this, you know, like a sepia tone to it that isn't really what you want to experience in your life. And I, for one, I know I was so busy living my life that I missed experiencing my life. And I had a great life. I still do. I shouldn't put that in past tense. I still do. I have a great life, but I have gotten caught up in trying so hard to live my life that I didn't get present enough to experience it in such an impactful and joyful way so many times. And I've been through a lot. I've got two incredibly beautiful daughters, wonderful people. I've made money. I've lost money. I've had businesses. I've just had incredible friendships and experiences, and I've done a lot of stuff. Some of you know, and some of you are like, "Wow, you've done a lot of stuff." So, you know, and I've really enjoyed it. And I'm married to this just wonderful, incredible, beautiful soul. Some of you may know her. You know, so I'm in a good place. But I need to constantly remind myself that I need to be present to the experience, the mystical experience. We're in a metaphysical teaching, and the metaphysical teaching and the principles and all that are great, and that's what keeps us going, and it keeps us informed, and it keeps us educated. But the mystical part of it is experiencing the rapture of life, the excitement of life that can only happen here and now in this moment. You know, we have as one of the practices in our teaching, and when we go to the principles, and this is again, all of them are on our website to see it. But one of the practices, as far as staying with our core principles, is the practicing the presence, and I'll read it to you because it does come directly from what our principles are. Practicing the presence is the practice of the principle of oneness, love, and creation, to become aware of and experience the one infinite reality. The practice of the presence is engaging in formal, disciplined methodologies that quiet the mind, body, and open awareness. Beyond these formal methodologies, it is living in alignment with our science of mind principles, making these principles evident in the way we engage in the present moment, thereby being congruent in thought, word, and behavior. I know this teaching works because I've experienced it. But it doesn't work if we're not present to it. Just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago about always doing your best, that those principles didn't work if you're not doing your best. And we talked about the fact that, living in the present moment is eternity. We are at eternity. We're in eternity. We're not waiting for eternity. And eternity isn't something that comes at a later time. It's not a long time. It has nothing to do with time. Eternity is the dimension of the here and the now. And that our thinking or our ideas of time really cuts out that the benefit of this full jubilant experience. When we think about living in the present, that we're living with uncertainty, and we need to embrace the uncertain in order to get the full thrill and the full experience. Mark Nepo, in his book, talks about we grow by shedding. Okay, and in mythology, in what we've heard, that the serpent or the snake is always a symbol, and it's a symbol of life throwing off the past because it sheds its skin and it moves on. But it has to wear that skin. And we need to wear ours. We need to wear what we feel, what every bit of it, in order to have the full experience, and then let it go and allow it to be the past. And again, we do it, and we do it so that we use our memories. We don't let our memories use us. It seems difficult at a period of time like this. It is difficult. I don't recall anybody telling me this was going to be easy. But it's worth it. And the work is worth it. But if we do the work up front, if we allow it to happen and we have the full experience of it, we move on more quickly from it. We learn from it, and we know that what's coming next in the next moment is ours to create. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any thoughts? All right. Then let's take this into prayer. So with this wonderful inspiration, that beautiful deep breath, that physical inspiration, I know behind it is this wonderful, incredible spiritual inspiration that I open to, that is always there, that comes continually right here and right now. And I allow this divine mind to express through me knowing that it comes as the one mind, it comes as the creative intelligence that allows to move from moment to moment through this wonderful creative process and create a life of freedom and joy. I know that moving forward with the intensity of life is a privilege. Even though the uncomfortable moments, the painful moments, those that let me know, absolutely, it makes me feel that I'm alive because I feel so much. It feels like every experience becomes in brilliant color and so alive because I become present to it. I know that whatever comes may be a surprise, may be something not planned for before. But with the knowing that there is not the faith in God, but the faith of God, that I move forward into that next moment with full confidence, with no fear, and enjoy the excitement, the exhilaration of the full rapture of life in every single way. I thank God for this teaching. I thank God for this knowing. I know that we are blessed to have this community. I know that this is a safe place, a wonderful resource, and we are blessed to be here and be part and to be sharing. And I release these words, I surrender these words to that power and presence, to that one mind that doesn't have to say yes because it already has, and it is in place. And with enormous gratitude, I do release these words. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
So it is.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.